All right. So, yeah, wow. Doing a lot of like simulation and math and all that stuff, right? Seeing how different things play out. And there's one thing that caught my eye, right? And I'll tell you about it. Before I say that, I have to preface this a little bit. Again, the hedging. A lot of people like hedging. It's just a lot of people are afraid of it because, just the thought of it, right? You say, well, we think what if scenarios. We think in our head like, yeah, well, what if, this thing, just goes back and forth on me and I keep getting triggered. I keep getting triggers and everything. Well, the first part of that is we solve that by closing the position. We solve that by closing the position at 30, right? At 30 pips or whatever size the hedge is, right? 40, 60. But still, instead of having that running open trade, that running loss, we're closing that position, cutting it off, and opening up another position. Now, I had to come up with this because of the fact that in America, American brokers, it's supposed to be America free, right? Well, we've had a lot of people that hate that were in positions of power and shut that down to where we couldn't hedge. And they all did it all in the name of protection. In the name of, I gotta go this way. I was gonna go the other way, it's just gonna take longer. Let me go north. So, all in the name of protection, right? Saying, oh, we wanna protect you. Really protect you from winning. Protect ourselves, the selfish motive. Protect ourselves from you becoming a billionaire like us, right? Protect you. We don't want you losing money. They're so concerned. Like, yeah, the billionaires, they're so concerned about you, they don't want you to lose money. When you lose money, they make money, right? It's hilarious. Rich coming from those guys. But anyway, so it caused me to have to figure out a way around the inability to hedge. And so because of that, I ended up stumbling upon the fact that, wait a minute, I can close these positions. And then I tried to see what the running loss was and all that stuff. And I said, wait a minute. If I close a position, I can go a higher X. Instead of stopping at 9X, I can go to 12X. And this is what had traders afraid. They had them afraid of trying to, worried about it blowing up on them, right? Now, so the thing that I figured out was, wait a minute, not only am I able to 12x this, let's say for instance it doesn't even matter. Let's say for instance, I'm like driving at the same time. Let's say for instance, the trade, it just goes past 12x, or you started on the other end of the scale, the higher end of the scale, where you can only really 5x, right? It's where you max your lots. You went further on the scale, right? And we do things like, there are times when you do that, right? You get this when you get into my trading group and everything. You get a lot of detail, things like that. But anyway, so even if it did, right? Even if it did popped off, where it's like, all right, I'm at the end, I'm at the L to the what happens is that if you're playing it my way, basically, it doesn't matter, because guess what? That only happens maybe once a month. Let's say, for instance, it happened twice, but I'll have 10 other trades that were profitable. So the blow up doesn't matter, because my profit is so big on closing the trades and opening a new one on a larger size, that busting the hedge doesn't matter. Busting the hedge, no, because really it kind of happens once a month, maybe, right? And it's like that phenomenon where it's only once a month, but it does happen. We all know that it does happen. But with me, I can handle 2. Matter of fact, the way I'm trading, I can handle it busting 3 times, and I would still end up with a nice percentage profit at the end of the month. So, and like, how many times do you think I'm going to end up busting the hedge in a month? Like, truthfully, right? Maybe once. So that had that good buffer zone where I'm making enough profit to where I'm not nervous. Now, the only thing that I would say, if I were to be nervous, that could be nervous about, like, no matter how perfect it is, something's gonna stick out, right? Is when I have my alert, I might be on the road and have to stop and like get out the laptop, set up the other pending order, right? That's my only, or maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll sleep too long. I mean, I have my alert set to go off while I sleep. Like, let's say I slept or something like that. But that's the only concern that I have, really. It's not about losses. It's not about losing trades. It's not about blowing up the hedge or anything like that. It's just about me sleeping. I gotta sleep. I'm not a robot. Sleeping or driving, right? And the alert goes off. That's my biggest concern. And really, if that's your biggest concern, you've got a great strategy, right? Wouldn't you say? So, that's pretty much it. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, so I know that you like the video, so I can post more videos like these. All right, so it's back to driving. I think I'm headed to the gas station right now. I passed like a dozen gas stations for the one that I like, and it's cheaper, and it's in the area where I do other things, my errands, and all that stuff, so see ya. Peace.